Welcome to Scott Cooks. Today I'm going to be using the Ninja Foodi to make two dishes at once. We'll be doing a southern style potato and egg salad, and I'll also be making deviled eggs. We're going to use the Foodi to pressurize the potatoes and the eggs at the same time. Stay tuned. Let's go over the ingredient list. This ingredient list will include ingredients for both dishes because both dishes use almost identical ingredients. That's why I'm doing these together. It's a great use of the Foodi, and it's a way to be very efficient with your time. So I've got about 1.5 pounds of yellow potatoes. I'm going to be peeling these. I've got a half of an onion. I've got some mayonnaise. Miracle Whip also works very, very well, but today I'll be using mayonnaise. I'm going to use probably a total of 3 stalks of celery. I'm going to use a little bit of my favorite seasoning, the Himalayan pink salt and black pepper. We have paprika, good old yellow mustard, and I got a dozen eggs here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 large eggs. So that's what we're going to be using. Some of these eggs are going to be going for deviled eggs. Some of these eggs will be used for the egg and potato salad. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to want to do is peel our potatoes, and I'm going to do this over top of the trash can to make life easy. I'll be using a Cutco peeler, and I'll be dicing and slicing with a Cutco knife. And to make life a little easier, I took a dish towel and just got it damp. I have a slick surface. This is my stove top. So to keep my cutting board from sliding, I put a damp towel underneath. It's not going to move anywhere now. I'm going to go ahead and get these potatoes peeled for you. All right, next up, I'm going to go ahead and cut these into small cubes. You cut them into whatever size you like your potato salad to be in. I'm going to show you what I like. So I want a chunk about that thick, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And this is the way I do it. There's a million ways to do this. Okay, that's pretty good. If you see one that's a little too big, just imagine you've got the potato salad in front of you and you got a fork. Imagine what size this is going to be on your fork. That's all I do. And we'll just, now we're going straight into the Foodi with these. There's no water or anything in there yet. I'm just dropping them right into the pot. Just throw them right in the pot. All right, we'll go ahead and cut all these up. Okay, we've got all of our potatoes diced up and into the Foodi. And now what we're going to do is add water. And I'm going to bring the water level to just over top of the potatoes to start with. And then as we add the eggs, since we have so many eggs, we're probably going to add at least another couple cups of water. Let's get started on that. Okay, that was 2 cups of water. So the water level is just over top of the potatoes. Your water level will vary depending on how many potatoes you put in. And eggs. What we're going to do is just take the eggs now, submerge them about halfway down, just kind of nestling them down into the potatoes. It's okay if they touch. And I've got quite a few eggs here because I'm making 2 dishes for 4 people. So I've got a lot going on here, but we can definitely fit them all in. There you go. And I don't believe I need any more water. You see the water level on the eggs is just right up to the top. They're not covered, but they're just up to the top. And that's exactly where I wanted it. Okay, we will be using the pressure lid, of course. Get that ready. And we want to make sure that we are on seal. Very important that we're on seal. Power up. Pressure defaults to high. And we want 4 minutes. And after the 4 minutes, we will do a quick release. We'll put the potatoes in a colander over in the sink, and we're going to drop the eggs into some ice cold water to stop them from cooking. While we're waiting on the pressure cooker, I'm going to go ahead and dice up our onion and our celery. I've already cleaned the celery, so we'll go ahead and start with that. And I want a pretty fine chop on this. We're just going to throw this over in a bowl with the onion. It'll be ready for us when we're ready. Now, I'm probably the only person who would appreciate a big bite of onion, so I'm using the rocking motion like this, and I'm fine dicing this. But if you don't have anyone in your family that minds a nice big old chunk of onion, leave it the way it was before I started that. So now we have quite a bit of onion. I already know that we don't have a lot of onion lovers in my family except me, so I'm not even going to put it all in there. And there you go. What I like to do while I'm waiting for the Foodi to build pressure, which it is now, is I like to get all my other stuff out, just kind of be prepared. I've got this colander that I'm going to put in the sink. I've already cleared the sink out because I'm going to be putting some very hot water in there. So the sink is empty. Potatoes will sit in the sink in that while I deal with the eggs. I've got a couple bowls out. I'm going to fill this one with some, it's about to go by the way, I'm going to fill this one with some water and some ice. So drop the eggs in when they come out. And this one I'm going to be using to make the potato egg salad in. And once I drain the water and ice out of this and get the eggs peeled, I'll reuse this bowl to make the deviled eggs in that. So I'll be using this for that. I'll be using this knife to cut up my eggs. I'll be using this spoon to get the yolk out. So pretty much got everything I need here. Because I am taking these deviled eggs to someone for tomorrow, I'll be doing it the fancy dancy way. This is a Pampered Chef device. I put this fancy tip on it. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. And so I'll be making my deviled egg mixture just a little bit thinner than I usually do so that I can press it out. And it's pretty easy. You just fill this thing up and push the button. Fills it right up. Makes a really nice looking presentation. I'll show you that when I get to it. Okay, we've just hit the 4-minute mark. We want to go ahead and do a pressure release. I recommend using something other than your hand for this. As soon as this button drops down, it'll be safe to remove the lid. And we want to get these eggs out as quick as possible. I've already got the ice water prepared. I've got my tongs ready. So in a second, this button is going to drop. I'll pull the lid, but get the eggs out. Okay, button's down. Never try to take this off unless that button is down, guys. Very dangerous. There will be condensation, moisture, whatever you want to call it, in the lid. Just roll it out of there. And let's get our tongs and get these right over. They're good. We'll let them sit for a few minutes. Now I don't like my eggs to get ice cold. I'm just stopping the cooking right now. I actually prefer to peel them while they're still a little warm. It seems to make it easier. What I'm going to do now is turn off the Foodi, grab a couple old pot holders, and we're going to take this potatoes and just dump it in the colander, and we're going to let it sit over in the sink for a few minutes while we work on other things. Okay, start doing a little preparation here. We've got our celery and onion. We'll put these right into the mixing bowl that we'll be making the potato egg salad in. So this bowl that I just dumped this out can now be used for the eggshells. And let's check one of these eggs out. Okay, I'm holding it in my hand pretty comfortably. We're going to go ahead and peel this. Now, I got to peel 12 eggs, guys, so I'm not going to film it doing that unless I just do a speed up. But I am going to show you how I do one of them anyway. And you may have seen this in another video, but it never hurts to see it again. It's pretty interesting. All right, simple. This is my way, not the way, just my way. First thing I want to do is break the shell this way, break the shell this way, shatter it, and then I roll it gently in my hand. And I'll get the bowl over where you can see it. And if everything goes according to plan, this shell will just fall off. And we're done. Egg peeled. Now I will take this and run it under the sink in case I missed any. You know, little pieces stick to your fingers. So that's it. It's as simple as that. I'm going to do 11 more of them. And there you have it. 12 eggs peeled in just a couple seconds. Okay, a lot of the potato egg salad that I'm about to make here is to taste. You've probably seen that written in recipes, to taste. Well, that's kind of the way it goes. I hate to give exact measurements and things for stuff I'm making on the fly like this, because it might be too salty for you. There might be too many eggs in there for you. There might be not enough eggs in there for you. So this is all to taste. So you can get the general idea. About 1.5 pounds potatoes, 4 eggs, 3 stalks of celery, half an onion. How much mayonnaise you want, that's up to you. Mustard, etc., etc. Let's go. I've got this handy dandy little chopper thing here. So I'm just gonna cut my eggs up right in the bowl. And it makes pretty quick work of those. Now I do like my eggs in my potato salad to be pretty chunky. And then again, you may not. So, you know, to taste, right? But a couple presses on that took care of that pretty quick. All right, we've got a lot of potatoes. Now, just as a general note here, this really goes for about anything. A lot of people would probably just dump those potatoes in right now. But I don't want to do that, because the more volume you add to this bowl, the harder it is going to be to mix the other ingredients. So let's get our mustard in, let's get our paprika in, let's get our Himalayan in, and let's actually start to build a little bit of mayonnaise in, and then we'll add in the potatoes a little at a time. It just makes it so much easier to mix. I like to use French's yellow mustard. I also have done this many times with a coarse, like a spicy brown. Works very well too. I'm not going to measure this because I know what I want. This is probably going to be a little over a teaspoon. About a teaspoon, maybe a little more, teaspoon and a half. If you don't have this, don't run out and get it. This is kind of expensive, but you know, you at least crack some pepper in here and throw in some good sea salt or something if you have it. I happen to have this. I'm going to use it. This adds a lot of flavor very fast, so you don't really need a lot of that. Paprika adds a smokiness to this dish. Put in a fair amount of that because we got a lot of volume going on here. Give you a shot there. Okay, go ahead and grab the mayo out of the fridge, and we're going to start with that. We'll probably start with about a cup of mayonnaise, mix it in, and start pulling our potatoes in. Okay, just so you're going to have something to go by, even though, of course, like I said, everybody's different. I'm using a kitchen tablespoon, just like a nice teaspoon. So these will be heaping tablespoons. Okay, so there's one. There's two. We're gonna stop right there. Give it a quick toss. Now, I did say toss. Toss is important, for me anyway, because I want to try to keep those eggs as chunky as I can. Now see, like that one's too chunky, so I'm just gonna break it with the spoon. But pretty good sized chunks, all right? Now that is a good mixture right there. If you see any large chunks of eggs, you know, just break them up. Of course, they're gonna break a little bit as you mix. So let's bring in a little potato here. Put about half of this potato in. All right, let's just kind of fold. See where we land here as far as mayonnaise. Well, we're obviously gonna need more mayonnaise. I'm just gonna fold, and I see another large egg. I'll just break it. I'm gonna stop right there. The reason is, if I keep going like that without enough mayonnaise, I'm gonna break up my potatoes, and I don't wanna do that. This is potato salad, not mashed potatoes. Let's get a couple more, 2, 3. Let's get about 3 more in there. We wanna be careful that we're folding and not mashing or whipping. So I'm just kind of going to the bottom and making a little at a time here. And what I'm actually going to do now is switch spoons. I have a little better success rate with this if I use metal spoons at this stage. I'm going to use 2 more big tablespoons, and I'm going to, let me see if you can see that. So I'm going to kind of go in like this and just kind of bring from the bottom. So I'm scraping the bottom of the bowl to stay off of those potatoes. There we go. That's what I'm after right there, guys. Yeah, that's a good mix. And that almost has it, to be honest. We're going to add a little more seasoning. And I put a fair amount of paprika in, so I don't think I want any more of that. And of course, the ultimate test is the taste test. So once we get a good mix here, we'll go in and give her a taste. Now, it does taste a little different after it sits in the fridge, and we do like our potato salad chilled. I have eaten it warm before, and it makes quite a difference between refrigerated overnight and eating it warm. I'm just giving it a little taste. It's got plenty of salt and pepper. You don't need to go anywhere there. It's not bad, it's not bad. Of course, we won't reuse that spoon, but it's not bad. I'm gonna put a couple more, last little bit of these potatoes in. Just gonna mix those in real quick. And we're gonna let these flavors just kind of meld together overnight in the refrigerator. And this is going to be a fantastic egg potato salad. Okay, I put some saran wrap over top of that bowl. I have a Tupperware container that holds deviled eggs. This is the insert to it. So this is what I'll be using to place my halves in. So I'll hold them still while I use the Pampered Chef tool to fill them. So, all right, for this operation, I'll be putting the fillings, the yolk, into this bowl. So I'll be slicing, putting the yolk in, taking my halves, and putting them over in that container. For that, pretty simple operation. I like to use a steak knife, a serrated steak knife. Seems to work the best for me. Let's make sure everything's fine here. And I like to just squeeze the egg. Squeeze, and I go like this, and I try to do it in one cut. And with these serrated, they're actually sliced. You'll see. Okay. You get it? Just like that. And I like to just take a regular old spoon. Now, sometimes if you get lucky, you can just squeeze and dump. And then I've got this tray, like I said, and I'm just going to place them in the tray. And that's what I'll use my piping tool. Now, sometimes they won't just fall out. In this case, these particular egg will, so I just dumped that one. That is the beauty of the Ninja Foodi, cooking eggs in it. Peel easy. And most of the time, the yolks will just fall out like that. Okay, let's get these over here. So we got our yolks. Again, to taste, heaping tablespoon and a half of one. We'll need more. A little bit of mustard. There is one additional ingredient in this one that you didn't see in the other one. I'll show you. I will be using less of this spice, a lot less. Okay, just a couple sprinkles. The paprika goes on top. You've seen deviled eggs, you know how it goes. You can mix it in there too, but I really just put it on top. Okay, I make homemade bread and butter pickles. I grew the cucumbers. I made these, canned them, stored them a couple years ago. Broke this one open about a month ago. Now, these are sweet. Bread and butter pickles are very sweet. I'm going to put a little bit of the juice in here. And I'm probably just going to take like 1 or 2 pickles and very finely chop it up. The reason is that a lot of the people who will be eating this don't like pickles, but everybody still likes their deviled eggs to be a little bit sweet. I know, it's kind of weird, isn't it? But that's how it goes. If it was up to me, I'd put half the jar in there. So, okay, so that is more than enough to satisfy everybody. And what we're going to do is just take a little of the juice, very, very little, and just pour a little juice in there. And that gives them a sweet flavor and not overly pickly, if that's a word. And me, I love these pickles. That's why I make them. And I think most people that have had these love them, but they don't want them in excess, if you know what I mean. They don't want too many of them. They're lost. But anyway, so let's get these in. Okay, that's probably way sweet enough. All right, let's bring this over so you guys can see where I'm at here. Okay, I'm just going to mash those yolks up now. Just using a spoon. I could have used that chopper thing too, but I've already put it over in the sink. So I said a spoon. I'm just using a fork. You see what I'm doing? I'm just mashing it. And as you mix, it's just going to keep mashing. And now this is going to show you a couple things really fast. How creamy do you want it? How chunky do you want it? You know, if I was just doing regular deviled eggs for dinner, I'm probably done right now. But I need to put this in the Pampered Chef thing. So we're going to go pretty smooth and a little thinner than I normally would do it, which means I'm going to add more mayo, which I'm going to do right now. Don't want to get it too thin, or you don't want it to get tasting too much like mayonnaise, but you want it to be able to squirt out of this thing. Okay, you see what's happening here now. Getting pretty creamy there. That's what I'm after. I think that'll do it. Okay, let me get the camera arranged so you can see how this Pampered Chef thing works. Okay, all we're going to do now is fill the tube. This is a threaded end. Make sure you can see that. Yeah, threaded end. And I've just got a fork, probably won't work too good, but I got a spoon sitting here. And I'll just fill her up. Try not to get it on the sides, but if you do, just take a paper towel and wipe that off before you get started. It's kind of hard to not get it on the sides. Okay, you see what I'm doing here. And we should be able to use a lot of this, probably not all of it, because once you add the mayonnaise and the other stuff, you end up creating more volume than you took out, but we'll get most of it back in. The cool thing about this is you can also sort of compress it down into the egg. Okay, got a little left in there. I'll just save that in case of emergency, meaning I might need more. I don't think so. All right, just take the ring and the plunger. I mean the ring and the tip. And what we'll do is carefully bring over our tray. Okay, now what I'm going to do is push the plunger. And first thing we'll be doing is just pushing some air out. Okay, and there it is. It's already in the tip. So what we want to do is go straight down on an egg. I'm almost in the bottom. And voila. Let's get you a close-up of that. Fancy dancy, huh? And we're going to do that, whatever, 15 more times. So. Okay, we got a little leaking out the side here. I'm going to keep going with it since it's coming. It is coming out. Yeah. The interesting thing about this is, even though you've got the design in the egg, so let's say this one's missing just a little bit, you can actually just press right back in it, and it'll just put that design right back in there for you. Like so. And that's it, guys. What I do now is I'm just going to take some paprika, sprinkle across the top, so I don't accidentally get too much in one spot. Because this is not just for color, which a lot of people just think, oh, you're just making it colorful. This is actually a flavor. It's a smoky flavor. And there you go. That is my homemade deviled eggs and potato salad done in the Ninja Foodi. There you have it, guys. Homemade potato egg salad, homemade deviled eggs in the Ninja Foodi. Cook the eggs and potatoes at the same time. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Leave me some comments. Hit that bell for notifications. Please hit that thumbs up button, that like button, very important. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.